Hey everyone, I'm Lindsay Hoffman and welcome to the Dose of Bliss show, where I bring some amazing people to share their best dose of bliss with you. Today we have the founder and creator of drone gear, Alex Kavanaugh.
Thanks for having me,
Thank
Lindsay.
you so much for coming here.
It's so good to see
Alex
you
is
again.
actually a fan of the show and messaged me on Instagram.
I am. One of your episodes had me teared up, and it
That's
was very inspiring and very motivating. So I was like, oh, that's just amazing. So I had to let you know how great you were doing.
It made my day because this is really a dream to have, and the fact that it touched somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of your work, so to get a compliment like that for you made my day, and it's given me so much more confidence.
This is just good on you for doing this, because it is taking that first leap into getting in front of the camera and creating content. I know you've been out there at all those events that you've been creating and working on, and this is I think this is a passion project that you had to do. So I'm proud of you. That's awesome.
Thank you for coming on. So let's make this about you now.
Yeah.
So can you tell our audience a little bit more of what drone gear is, who might not be familiar with it?
Yeah, so drone gear, I started it in Australia, which is where I'm from, if you can't tell from my accent. But I started it as a Instagram sharing channel, a place for people to share their drone content, because I was really, really passionate about drones 7 years ago, and it was very new technology and there wasn't a lot of people doing it. So yeah, I just started it off sharing the latest gear and gadgets and drones, and spent a lot of money on a drone system myself and would be posting the pictures, and then everyone started using the hashtag drone gear, which I started, and it just started going crazy. And then I was like, wow, this is awesome. So I started sharing people's pictures and work and content through that hashtag drone gear, which has over, I think, 1.1 million hashtags now.
That's insane.
Yeah, so and we got 150,000 followers there, and it's a really, really close community, and we just love supporting each other.
Yeah,
so
that's amazing.
It's been great to create a platform and see all these others sort of grow off the back of mine, but being one of the first and a pioneer was been awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah, social media gets such a bad rep these days of how people are having mental health issues and burning out, but you've had positive experiences, and I want to talk about the good side of social media.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how many relationships, friends, I came here from Sydney not knowing, I knew very few people, and all of a sudden you start getting messages from people that are creative, like-minded, like yourself. You link up and they're like, hey, I got a creative project I want to work on. Can you help me? Then you start helping each other out, returning the favor, and next minute you start getting work, and it just sort of snowballs into, a really great working relationship and friendship. And my current relationship now happened through Instagram DM. She contacted me, so not just from drones, but also, my love life as well. So it's been absolutely amazing. And it does get a bad rap, but I think the positives far outweigh any negatives.
That's crazy. I mean, your whole life, really. I mean, now you're in an amazing relationship because of social media with someone you probably would have never met.
Yeah, exactly. And that was through drones. She actually, needed her drone fixed, and that's why she messaged me.
Or so she says. Maybe she thought you were cute.
It was definitely broken. And then, I think
she probably was like, let me get my drone and break this so I can message this guy.
It's worked out. So, but it's been good.
That's amazing. And then work-wise, what cool brands and companies have you worked with through this?
I could go on for a while here, but probably one of the biggest projects that I worked on late last year was a Ford commercial for the director was Wally Pfister, who is an Academy Award winner for Inception. And he also worked on the Italian Job, Batman with Christopher Nolan. So he was literally operating the camera and I was flying the drone. So we were like shoulder to shoulder. He was the director, but he's a very hands-on director, still using the camera. So that was huge. And those commercials were featured on the World Series ads and also the Super Bowl halftime. And there was 3 or 4 of my drone shots in the Super Bowl halftime, which is the pinnacle of advertising. So done a bunch with our company, Drone Gear Productions, has done a bunch of stuff for Netflix, Hulu. I got my New York crew that just last night did a shoot in Pennsylvania for Netflix. I shot for Nat Geo last week. Honda, multiple Honda commercials this year.
So all of this from social media.
Yeah.
How did that? Do they DM you, or now they like people
It's
word of
just,
mouth at this point?
at this stage, it's like our brand, and it's just having done jobs and worked on these big productions. Producers know who you are. They see the work that you do, and they want to keep working with you. So it's purely you sort of work. You get an opportunity, you have to step up to that opportunity, nail it, and then it's sort of it just keeps coming. And then obviously advertising, showing that commercial on social media, and BTS has been a huge part of what I do, like taking behind the scenes photos.
Which you did today here.
Yeah, we've done that already. And so that's a huge part, because a lot of people want to see the behind the scenes. On a lot of the big ones, you can't. So you've got to try and do it like on the sneaky and the sly, and not show any talent or any new cars or anything like that, because then you can get in legal trouble. But wherever we can, like I've always got my camera and I'm doing BTS photos of like the set life that everyone likes to call it. So, and everyone likes to see that, because they aspire to sort of get to that level. So yeah.
So you have been able to balance this life of social media. What is your secret? Because a lot of people burn out. They're trying to take the likes away from Instagram now because it's affecting people. Why didn't that affect you? And
I mean,
what do you do?
I've definitely had it. Like the whole burnout is definitely real. I think I've taken a step back because I have to post every day. You don't have to post every day. Post when you want. Less is more, quality over quantity. So I think that perception of everyone these days, like, I've got to do a post every day. It's like, no, you don't. Like, just post whenever you feel like it. If you're having a bit of a down day and you just need some you time, go out and do it. Don't post, and just decompress and post when you feel like it. So now I just post a little bit less, but then when I do post it, I'm feeling it. Sometimes I might post twice a day, so I think it's just like making that judgment call yourself, because, it's not always high, and we have those lows, and we're allowed to just,
take time for yourself and give the quality of the content. That's what people are there for.
Exactly. I think too, with Drone Gear, I've reached out to people, and people have reached out to me. They're like, hey, can I intern for you? Can I come? And like, I'll give them access to the account if their content is good. And I've done that with like 7 or 8 people around the world who I know and trust, and they've got access. They can go in and do a story. So it's also letting go of control and letting other people in to help you and relieve that pressure of social media.
How did you get that ability to let go?
It's hard. It's hard. Sometimes, when you built something and it's your baby, you can be a bit of a control freak. But I think ultimately you just want to, with growth, you have to let go. And that's what I've also done with Drone Gear Productions now, is I've had a business partner come in who's a producer. He's been in advertising, and he's relieved a huge amount of pressure for me. He takes care of all the paperwork, the invoicing, the insurance certificates, like the FAA waivers, all the paperwork just to get on a job. What a lot of people don't realize with drones is, as cool as the visuals are, the paperwork is an absolute...
There's a lot of laws where a drone can go.
It's just a nightmare, and different cities, and you can't fly in national parks and state parks, and there's all these different jurisdictions. So having someone that takes care of all of that for me, I can just turn up on the day and do my job. So yeah, reach out, get help when you need it. When your business is growing, definitely look for the right people that are going to lift you up and be an ally.
And that's also the reverse. I was just thinking, not to change the topic, but that people reach out to you on social media, that a fan could actually DM you and ask for a job, and you could say yes.
Yeah, well, the beauty about having the followers that we have, they're all drone people, they're all passionate about drones. You get to know who the good drone operators are. So yeah, we just put a crew, I think it's their 3rd Netflix series. Again, productions can't always afford to pay our team to fly from LA all the way to the East Coast. So to create jobs, and again, that relationship, Tim, who just did this Netflix shoot for me with his team, I was coming to New York to do a shoot for Tiffin, and he saw that. He's like, hey, can I come and just hang out for the day and shadow you? And he ended up picking me up from the airport, driving us out to the location, hanging with us all day, flying his drone. Now, off him reaching out and hanging with us for a day and just, wanting to be part of it, I'm now getting him work, and that's really great, seeing him going out and crush it. And so yeah, creating jobs has been really,
so cool.
really great.
And if there was is this mainly on Instagram, or do you also, obviously this is video as well?
Yeah, Instagram is where people sort of contact and reach out. But then we get each other's phone numbers, and then
It turns to real life.
turns to real life and emails, and we just sort of go from there. But it seems to be Instagram is obviously my strongest platform, and that's where the first contact is made, and then it's sort of you see what they do for their work, see the quality, and you're like, wow, these guys are really good. We can work with them. So.
Did you ever think your life would become this from just starting that profile a long time ago?
No, like I was in Sydney, Australia, this little surf town. I was actually a carpenter and a builder by trade. That's what I did in a family business. And I started doing the marketing, all the photos of the houses we built. We built these beautiful architectural houses on beaches and cliffs in Sydney. And my passion and love for photography and video then led to creating this account. And it was just, so yeah, coming from, humble beginnings as a carpenter to sort of being now here in Hollywood working with Academy Award winners, like you could, like if you said that to me back then, hey, in 10 years from now, you're going to be here doing this, I would have laughed in their face,
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
So yeah, it's been quite the roller coaster.
So if someone wants to have like a career in social media and have a positive mental health state, besides for, as we were talking about earlier, not always posting, what else do you suggest so they can really grow the way that you have?
I think, being persistent, like again, reaching out to people, cold calling. I remember when I first started, sending 100 emails out to companies because I started the YouTube channel. And that was a big sort of jump to put myself in front of the camera. I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm micing myself up. I'm supposed to be an expert. And I don't know everything, but for people, I think it's reaching out, breaking that barrier, whether it's through email or even cold calling someone and going, hey, is there any work? This is what I do. So you can definitely go past social media and grow. And but yeah, it takes a lot of rejection, and I thrive on rejection. I absolutely love it, actually. Tell me no.
Tell me no.
I kind of live for that.
Why do you thrive? Like, what are you thinking when you're told no?
I think it's like, oh, I'm not good enough, but I am good enough. It's like, I don't know.
I have to show you how good I am. Let me work harder.
I thrive on it because not everyone understands content and also gets it. You see companies and you turn the TV on every day and you're like, wow, someone got paid to make that video. I can do better than that. So there's daily inspiration every time you turn the TV on. So
that's amazing. That makes me inspired, and I know it will make our viewers. There's a trend early on the show of people creating their own realities, just like you.
Yeah, definitely. Just like it's hard to break that barrier, but you just have to be consistent and take the rejection and don't take it personally. That's for sure.
You can live a happy life on social media. It's not as bad as everyone says it is.
You can.
So to change the topic, I know you wanted to dedicate this episode to a friend of yours that recently passed away.
It's been a very emotional week. I don't know if you can see it in my face, but I've been like...
Well, I appreciate you wanting to share the story.
Yeah, I've been an absolute emotional mess. But we, in the drone community, because we are so close, we lost a legend, probably the brightest star. His name was Brian Bloss, and he was a aerial cinematographer, but he was a time lapse, just genius. So when you see those time lapses, whether it's on the ground, he pioneered the aerial hyperlapse. Now that's just a time lapse that moves in the air. They call it a hyperlapse because it moves. He started doing it years ago before anyone was doing it. He was doing it manually. And now obviously with technology, you can do it in the program. You just press a button and you can do it. But he did it years ago, and his visuals are just spectacular. And he traveled more than my girlfriend, Leslie, who's a travel blogger. And we just used to go back and forth and supporting each other's content. He'd be in Italy, I'd be in Croatia, and I'm like, go check out my mate Brian. His stories are killing me. He's just so funny. His smile was infectious. His love and passion for creating content just oozed out of him. And he was just, it was a freak accident how he passed away. And we just did a memorial, but his Instagram account is bblossa. If you go and look at his content, it's just phenomenal. And I was his biggest fan. And his parents said to me that he was a huge fan of me, but I'm not half the content creator he was. He was just on another level. He was he would set up 6 cameras, time lapses, and then he would fly the drone. He'd be doing 6 or 7 things at once. He was just an inspiration. So yeah, we've lost an absolute legend, and he was my age. But it's a reminder that we need to keep doing what we love and pursuing what we love, because you never know what's going to happen. And when, tragically, he got hit by a car and was able to walk away from it, and he went to sleep and didn't wake up.
That's
So it's just
terrible.
tragic. The family are devastated. We're all devastated in the drone community, but we had a memorial, we had a drone fly, and we're gonna, one of his sort of taglines was, we out here on set, we out here in Montana, we out here in Italy. He went everywhere, working on reality shows and documentaries. And one of the last ones he did was a solar eclipse, and they had 9 cameras. It was 2 guys that had 9 cameras, and the video is online, and it's just the most beautiful content you'll ever see in the middle of, I think it was the Atacama Desert in Chile. But he truly was an inspiration. And
We only have a few minutes left, so I wanted to say, what's the biggest thing that he taught you about, living life to the fullest and going for what you want, and
yeah,
life is short?
I think it was just, he was just out there every single day harvesting nectar, is what he called it. He's like, yo, and he was just larger than life. So, moving forward, I'm not going to be like sad and, upset and hanging in a room. I'm going to be out there like harvesting nectar and flying drones and creating content, which is what he would have wanted. But he was just an inspiration. So we lost an absolute legend, but he will live on. Legends don't die. So yeah.
I'm so sorry for the loss, but it's amazing to hear the community that was cultivated through social media and through drones, that nobody would even really know that exists, especially someone maybe who's not as into social media yet.
Yeah, I think going back to that social media, seeing the drone community, I've had messages from Brazil, all over Europe, South, just all over the world, who followed him, and their just hearts are broken, and they like, we didn't get to meet Brian, but because he shared so much with his Instagram stories, they were like crying. They're like, everyone's just devastated. So seeing how close that social media and community is, I think it puts a spotlight on how social media is good and how it brings people together. And there's way more positives than negatives.
Yeah, they just talk about the negatives and they don't talk about this.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad you came on the show today to give such a beautiful tribute and to let people know that there actually is good on social media and in the world, more than there really is bad. And we have to start talking about it. That's what Dose of Bliss is for. So could you let everybody know where they can find you?
Yeah, so my Instagram handle is @dronegear, which is our main account, and my personal account is drone.pilot, and I'm on YouTube, Drone Gear. And yeah, so come check us out.
Yeah, you check him out. He's kind of a big deal and an amazing person. Thank you guys always for tuning in to the Dose of Bliss show. You can find the show on my YouTube channel every Thursday at Lindsay B. Hoffman, and on my blog, www.doseofbliss.com. But if you don't want to wait till Thursday, you can go to the EverTalk TV app and watch all of them on demand right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Lindsay Hoffman, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.